Okay, Dale kept us waiting a little bit today. It's 14 after 5, and it is Wednesday, January 6, 2021, and we're going to have our first select board meeting for Sangerville of this year. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 2, approval of the select board minutes 12/16/2020.
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second, we all are in favor. Item 3, review of treasurer's warrants, payroll 102, 103, and number 1. Accounts payable 104, 105, and number 2.
Make a motion to approve A and B as read.
Second.
All in favor? We're all in favor. We have no guests, so we'll skip open session. Old business, annual town meeting. We had talked about this in a previous meeting. There was legislative action last year, it was put in place last year. So that towns that were not allowed to have a meeting were allowed to use the previous year's budget in lieu of a meeting.
Right.
It had to, you couldn't raise or lower anything, I guess, was,
Yep, that was right in the beginning of
I
March.
think we were one of the last town
Right.
meetings
The end of February, beginning of March.
in the area.
Yep,
I think we were the only.
yep,
So we had talked at previous meetings about implementing this. The current statute runs out on the 15th of January. It appears that there's going to be a redo. I guess there's been some correspondence back and forth from MMA. But I think the three of us just felt like, what's the point in dragging our feet?
Well,
right,
we all know that, I mean, with the new mask mandates that are going on, the gathering numbers are not growing. I mean, they're looking tight, everything is getting tighter again.
Say everything's more onerous than it was last year.
Yeah.
With the numbers the way they are, there's nothing, you're not gonna be able to schedule a town meeting. I mean,
Not for a long time.
no.
Which also means we won't be electing another selectman until we can do that. So
Correct.
that could be
right,
July, who knows?
Yep.
yeah,
So, I think the other, just so everybody, we're on the record, just,
The only thing I'd like to interrupt though, before you keep going, you just made that comment about not being able to elect another selectman. As far as I know, we haven't had anybody express any interest about becoming a selectman other than any of us.
That's
And
true.
there's been, nobody's come in asking about the nomination paperwork or anything, so.
Right.
I don't want anybody to think that
Right.
there's anybody else out there. I mean,
Right.
yeah, no one has shown an interest yet.
Correct.
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
And I did share with you guys that I intended to rerun. I haven't done the paperwork either because of all of the things that we're discussing. So, that may not happen depending on when the meeting.
yep,
Back to the budget portion of this, just so everybody knows, we're not changing anything. It literally should be the same mill rate. What we don't know is what may happen to revenue sharing and things like that. So my suspicion is, when we finally do get to have a meeting, we may need some more money.
right,
It's possible.
which is no different than if we could,
right,
budget process anyway.
Yep.
yeah,
Now, it is possible, we don't know exactly what's left from 2020. So there may be some surplus there that would help cushion that, but, I'm sure we'll know before we have the meeting. Can't think of anything else really that,
I think the way everything is looking myself, if we go ahead with this and we just pass the budget through, then that way there, we're not hindered with any road work, we can get everything in planning.
right,
and
we can
keep
just
going.
move
Yeah.
forward,
yep,
Yes.
start seeking our bids for road work and,
right,
and no other, we had projects like, the new town hall office and those, we haven't been able to move forward with those anyway, so that's just kind of status quo.
right.
So,
So I'd like to make a motion to, based on the, based on the legislative document number 2167, and this is an act to implement provisions necessary to the health, welfare, and safety of the citizens of Maine in response to the COVID-19 public health emergency. And this is for the 129th Maine legislative session, that we are going to adopt or use the budget that we had last year.
The approved budget of last year.
The approved budget of last year, and go ahead and pass that budget.
Second?
Any further discussion?
No?
We vote? All in favor? This is 3 in favor. Okay, anything more on that? Item B, appointment of the fire chief. I'm looking at, I just should mention, Bridie's not here tonight, so it's just the 3 of us. I'm looking at some correspondence from the fire department to Bridie, and saying to whom it may concern, I'm pleased to announce that we have nominated Chad Burgess as our fire chief for 2021. We wish him good luck. Signed, Jerry Rush. We had meetings with him, we knew that he was kind of
Yep,
gonna be the pick. Personally, I'm excited about it, he seemed like he was really
yep.
ready to go.
Yep, I think that's great.
I think he's gonna help us move forward.
Yep.
Yep, I agree.
So we just appointed?
We just appointed.
Okay. Do we have to sign anything to appoint him?
She didn't, I don't have a document here for
Okay.
us to sign, there may
Okay.
be something.
We just make a motion for now and.
Yep. I'd make a motion that we appoint Chad Burgess as our new fire chief effective first of the year.
Second?
Favor? All 3 of us are in favor. Congratulations to Chad.
And thank you for doing that, because it's not the.
It's not always fun.
Right.
So,
New business, I don't have anything in front of me, so. Town manager report, she's not here, road commissioner's not here. Speaking of roads, does anybody have anything they wanna share about roads?
sure.
There you go, Dale.
So, well, I mean, obviously, we just had our very first storm of the year. And I know at my house at 8-ish or so in the morning, I wasn't doing a whole lot, but by 9, 10 o'clock, it was definitely coming down very quickly. And I think it was around noonish maybe, something 11:30, whatever. I had left the house and I had to go over to my mother-in-law's on the Shaw Road, and I used that road many times because as a reference for how our roads
yeah.
get plowed. But so clearly, ours roads were not spotless by any means. There was 3 or 4 inches on Silver's Mills as I'm going out through there, but you could definitely tell the guys were out, they were trying. But it was definitely coming down
Oh, yeah.
at a very fast pace. I got to the Dexter line, and it was very clear that Dexter hadn't even attempted yet. It was not plowed to get out through to Dexter. Got out onto 7, that road was sketchy at best. Onto the Shaw Road for Dover not to plow. In town Dover was a mess. And I actually, when I did what I had to do in Dover, I had to stop by the Chamber of Commerce's little building and wait for the FedEx truck to back down over the hill,
no.
right by the town garage, because they couldn't even get up through there. So anyway, going out through, by the time I got back to the Shaw Road, they had made 1 pass, so I mean, they were out on the outskirt roads. 1:32-ish by the time I got back to Silver's Mills. Dexter still hadn't even attempted to plow yet. And our end of Silver's Mills, it would look really good by then. They had it cleaned up. So my own opinion, I think that for as fast as that storm came on, with that observation of the surrounding towns, I think our guys definitely did a pretty good job. So.
Yeah, I didn't get any phone calls or anything.
I didn't receive any myself, but I was in here Monday to register some vehicles, and I had heard that there was definitely some phone calls, some voice messages got left. Some disgruntled people. I get it, we get them all the time, but the way that came down, I just don't think you could ask for any more.
That was one of those storms that if you had a 1 hour loop, the guy at the end of that loop was gonna see a lot of snow in
That's
his
right. It was
driveway.
impressive.
Yeah, it came down hard
Yeah.
for a few minutes.
And I know the guys, and they've upgraded some equipment this year, they've got bigger trucks out, newer trucks out, there's 3 of them on the road.
Wow.
That's more than what we've had in the past, so I think they're doing good.
Yeah. And then we had a small snowfall and they plowed my road again.
Yep.
So I thought, geez, you didn't need to do that, but you know, they did plow again.
And I know Monday they got the snow blower on the track machine and they got that all serviced. Monday night, all the
Walks.
sidewalks were snow blown.
Wow.
Good.
So,
Very good. That's awesome. They're doing a good job.
Okay, anything else on roads?
no, but FYI, actually, I was in the town garage Monday night and they were in there and they serviced our loader too.
Good.
They greased it all up and did all that, so,
The newts?
yep,
Oh, good.
so.
No, I would put them on a semi-annual, well, twice a year, whatever you would normally do with his own equipment,
Yes.
just do it. So, good. I noticed that pile isn't going down very fast.
No.
Damn big pile.
It's like a little tiny hole in the corner over there.
Yeah.
We'll see what it looks like in March, but.
That might be where we may be okay on the budget. We're probably gonna have to buy a little less sand.
Good.
Yeah.
That would be good.
I don't have any correspondence. Request for additional agenda items, nothing. Selectmen's concerns?
Actually, I do have one.
Go right ahead.
Sorry to keep being the only one talking, but if either one of you have the opportunity, take a ride up Silver's Mills. And if you get to my house, you can turn around and go back, but you'll understand when you get.
From this side, from 23?
Yes. So there's roughly 5 culverts down through there. That road has 0 gravel in it.
No, yeah.
Well, those 4 or 5 culverts before you get to the Anderson Road, I've lived out there, I wanna say 15 years, but I may be one side or the other. The year that we moved out there, that front part is when that got paved, was that year. And all those culverts were done then. And since then, they've all been dug out and done over again, because some of them had collapsed because of the blame of plastic. And some of them, I'm a firm believer, it's just because there's no road there. But they all need to be done again.
Really?
Yes. Whether or not it's the culverts have collapsed or what, but there's some of those right now are a good 4 to 6 inch divot that you're hitting.
But you don't know if they're not round anymore.
Correct, 100%. It could be
They could be
100%, they could be moving. But why I want you to go, don't stop at the Anderson Road, but to continue over that next culvert. Because that next culvert, the one thing that I've noticed that was different when Lawson put that one in, and Lawson did not put those other culverts in, by the way, I don't want anybody to.
Yeah, that's a mix.
Well, the very first time, those were done by Bennett's. And then Bennett's was always known for doing a good job. So they didn't last when he did it.
And were they all plastic? Or mixed?
I think they are all plastic. And some of them did squish out, but there again, it's easy to blame the culvert, but when you don't have any material around it,
Right.
it's not, I don't think it's really you can't really fully blame the culvert.
And that was 15 years ago. Well,
Yeah,
give or
about,
take.
yeah, and then probably 5 years ago, the town dug all those up.
I remember that.
So,
So they've been done twice.
they've been
Yeah.
twice in 15 years, they need to be done again.
Jeez.
So,
But the only reason why I'm saying I'd like you to go to, turn around by my house, you'll notice the one that Lawson did. The big difference that I think makes the difference, and I'm not a road engineer, but when you hit that culvert, it's the only culvert I've ever seen that patch cut has to be 20 plus feet.
yeah, he's 10 feet on both sides of the culvert.
Anyway,
Wow.
Yeah.
and I'm telling you, but I think that's the trick, is
Yeah.
where there's no gravel in that road, he's got such a wide, deep V to that.
Right, he's creating a little
bed.
piece of road bed.
Yeah.
That's
A proper-
reasonably appropriate for a culvert.
Even though the rest of the road is.
Right, and that may be dipping equal,
Sure.
but it is so wide.
Yeah.
You don't have that slam like
Which destroys then
the culvert.
Right, that's all.
the whole thing.
And I know
So
it's more
that's-
money to do it that way, but if we're gonna do them every 5 years,
That's
it
what
doesn't make
Did
any
you save,
sense.
did you waste it, did you really spend any
No.
more money if you can do it once and not do it again? You know, and like I said, 15 years, this is gonna, they need to be done.
It's what undermines your paving job too.
Yep,
Yes.
that's exactly right.
The very last one before you get to the Eastler Road, you really need to be doing, unless you don't value vehicle, and seems how I just bought a 3500, which is really bad timing. I'm doing about 3 miles an hour when I'm going over that one. You're almost stopped and you just roll through it.
Wow.
And the frost is just starting to settle. It's gonna get
Oh,
worse
it's
before it
gonna
gets
get way
better.
The one in front of Bob's house is bad.
Yep, but that's,
It was bad all summer.
that's another one though. That one there's been done a couple different times now. But, and I know, in my only, obviously I live there and I've dug pretty close to the road, working out of my driveway, but when, years ago, Warren, there used to be a center island down on the Anderson Road, and that's where the camp signs used to be. And regardless, that it was one of them, when they were plowing, they clipped that sign. So, it was all agreed upon that that was not the place to put that sign, it didn't need to be in the middle of the road. And he got permission from everybody involved that he would eat it all, do the work and everything, and relocate the sign over beside the road, and then, you know, fill all that in with gravel. And I went down with my backhoe at the time and dug all that out, and we dug right to the road, that entire width, and there is no gravel at all in that whole section under the hot top. There isn't the Anderson Road, but there isn't any over there,
Wow.
so.
So there's nothing under it,
There's
there's no foundation.
And I think that's the problem.
Yep,
It's
yep.
not the culvert,
They
it's
just
like Mark's
paved
saying.
a dirt road.
Those, right.
That's what they did.
We're putting in good material, so
Right.
that's moving differently than
Right.
everything around it.
Right.
And that road probably is one of the most traveled roads that we're responsible for.
Yeah. It's close. That's a huge, everybody goes that way if you gotta go to Bangor.
Right,
Correct.
they cut through there.
Yep.
Well, just an FYI, it's definitely a redo, but
How many culverts, Dale, would you say are there?
I don't know, I get tired of counting. It's gotta be 5, maybe 6.
Yeah, there's a lot of them, that's it.
There's a few up on the other end that are starting now, but they're not nowhere near. It's really after, there's one I think right before the corner, but it's after the corner. There's like 3 or 4 right there before you get to the Eastler Road. But it's just, like I said, I think if we're gonna do them, we really need to think about spending the extra money and doing those with that wider cut and hope that they will last longer.
Yep.
Um,
Well, we'll have to talk to the road commissioner and tell her that's
so,
the direction we wanna go. And just as far as, our gentleman, Rick Drew, did he move out or?
oh yeah.
He
yeah,
did, he's
I-
done.
No, I don't know that. He's not, he got over my way all done, and he did that before Christmas, I think. And so that would mean he has everything over our way, and I can't remember, I talked to Bridie, I think he was headed to the Gray Road to do that, and he had a place to park his machine there, and then I reminded her that I had a spot lined up at McAvoy's for when he got down on the other end. So I'm not sure if he's been over to Goff Road yet or not, I don't go that way.
I've never been down that road.
Yeah, I haven't been over.
Honestly, when we talked about this and I went over, it's the first time I've been across it for quite a while.
Is that right?
I just don't go that way for,
It doesn't seem like, the men having to plow that piece is, their road, it seems, I didn't notice any difference. I go by the house, cause I'm at the end, so I get 2 quick passes.
Oh, yeah,
And I didn't notice a big difference, so it doesn't seem like it's slowing them down much to go over there and do that little piece.
And they've definitely, you can tell the difference on, up here on McFeeters, where our town's stopping and Parkman is not plowing.
Really?
really?
Not very well, and not doing any of the tree clearing, I mean,
Huh.
there's branches that are just.
It's like night and day.
Oh, yeah, like night and
Interesting.
day.
And I hear that, you know, same deal, when my mother-in-law comes over from the Shaw Road and she comes across the Dexter end of our house, you know, that's all I hear about is.
Yeah, how,
Well, I get that on,
You need to make sure if you see them guys, how good a job they're doing compared to what I'm traveling on.
I get that up because the kids come from Canduskay.
oh, okay,
And they take the Sills Mills Road, and it's like a defined line where Dexter stops and we
Stops,
start.
yeah.
And we're the better part of it 90% of the time.
Yep. And that's really, I guess that's kind of the point, and I know maybe if somebody is listening to us talk right now, it sounds like we're bragging them up. Well, I feel we are, but I think they can do a good enough
Well,
job, we should be.
right,
And if
acknowledge.
anybody, I think they all need to do what we do. You know, you see Sangerville Department, me and Mike, where we
Right,
live,
right,
we
right.
see Sangerville to Dexter all
Right,
the time.
right.
We
Just-
are definitely getting a better service for our town than what the surrounding towns are getting.
We're certainly holding our own.
Yeah.
I'm not disparaging anybody, but and I know people don't like it when you say, "Well, look at those guys," but it is human nature. I mean,
But I mean, I feel it's our responsibility to look at those guys, because our plow contract, we award that. So-
That's true,
correct.
that's a
and
good point.
It's not
That's a
only
very-
about,
yeah.
to me, it's not only about a bottom line dollar number.
Right.
You have to look at what kind of service they can provide, and the only way we can judge what service they provide is when you look at what everybody else is
That's a
getting.
very good point, that's
So-
that's a good point.
so yeah, I think it's fair to compare.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
So, but yeah,
And
okay.
It's a big safety issue, our roads, so.
Anything else?
Nope,
Executive session, none?
make motion to adjourn?
Second, all in favor? It is 5:35, that may be, well, that's the shortest one this year. We are adjourned.